Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the V Spot. I'm going to close out season 2 in this episode, and I wanted to stroll down memory lane and share with you some highlights and some pieces of information that I want to leave you with as this particular season comes to a close. Um, Season 2 was incredibly powerful and special, and it called me forth in a new way because I opted to add the camera to the room, right? So it was a level of showing up and allowing myself to be seen in a way that I was not used to. And so I wanted to up the ante for season 2. I chose to add the camera. I absolutely stretched myself in that particular way. And it wasn't just to add a camera to the room, right? It was about allowing myself to sometimes show up when I didn't want to, right? Allow myself to be seen when sometimes I wasn't up for it. It was a calling myself forward in ways that don't always come easy and natural and comfortable. And it was all in the name of leaning into vulnerability. Right. So as we prepare to close out season 2, I want to again invite you to look in your life and look at what is vulnerability to you, right? What is it that makes you uncomfortable? And allow yourself the permission to lean into that space. Right. So there's a lot of places that I am uncomfortable. And I talk about them often. And there's so many that I've yet to share about. But showing up and allowing myself to be seen is a stretch for me in that years of experience and pain, if you will, and life had me hiding, and so sometimes hiding in plain sight, right? But hiding nonetheless. And so season 2 of the V Spot was my invitation to myself to come out of hiding and to show up and to allow myself to be seen in ways that I never did, but I had never allowed before. And so as I reflect on season 2 and bring it to a close, I can't help but emphasize this aspect of calling you forward to look at where have you potentially not allowed yourself to be seen? And what would it look like if you got into a commitment to be different around it, right? When you're uncomfortable, in spite of the fear, right? Because there's been so many times that I've shown up to record and I showed up scared. I showed up hands trembling, heart racing, mouth dry, right? Worried about how I would be perceived, worried about handing over some of my story, worried about screwing up, and nonetheless doing it anyway. And so there's been an incredible amount of healing that has been accessible by way of this journey. And I would never have been able to accomplish it and achieve it if I didn't persist through the discomfort, right? And so as I'm bringing season 2 to a close, I'm really thinking about what's a new, like, normal or baseline for me, right? Showing up in this way isn't as scary as it once was. And that's because I was committed to the process, right? And so I share that with you because I want to encourage you to look at your own life and ask yourself the question, where can you create a new baseline for you, right? What areas of your life would need to be called forth, in order to create new results? So first and foremost, I want to acknowledge the cameras in the room for season 2. I want to give gratitude and thanks for all of you who have showed up to tune in, for all of you who have reached out pertaining to how certain conversations or topics, impacted you, and say thank you. Spending quality time with me in the V Spot is not something that I take lightly. I recognize how many podcasts there are. I recognize how many, Zooms you can tune into or how many YouTube videos you can actually be entertained by. And so I never take it lightly when you share with me that you chose into mine. So, I want to say thank you. And I really want to leave season 2, leave you with this idea of heal bravely. Heal bravely. I am knee deep in my own healing journey right now. And next month, the beginning of July, really is an anniversary for me. I would say that it's 6 years of intentional healing work. And, intentional healing as a business is a little bit more than 2 years old, but my intentional healing journey, I date back to 6 years ago, July. And so I've been doing some soul searching around it, right? Soul searching around the fact that my trip to Arizona was really about digging in deeper, and I absolutely dug in deeper. And with that, there's been so many different layers of myself emerging. And I feel like I'm meeting parts of myself that I've never met before. And the only reason it's happening is because I'm committed to this journey of intentional healing. And as I've been thinking about it, I've been realizing how much courage is involved in rolling up your sleeves and digging into the parts of you, right, that perhaps have never been paid attention to, perhaps the parts that hold shame, perhaps the painful moments and the painful experiences, right, all of it. And so as I thought about closing out season 2, I really wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts that stick with me from this particular season, and then leave you with the final call to action until we meet again for season 3, which will be in September. It's this idea of you are not damaged or broken if you are on a healing journey. You are not damaged. You are not broken, right? You're merely choosing to navigate your life with an awareness, with intention, with compassion and grace, right? For what it means to be human today. And so I want to remind you that if you are peeling back the layers of you to do your healing work, it doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. It means that everything is right about you, right? And I know that it doesn't always feel that way, right? It's quite layered. I know that it doesn't always feel good to face, fears, to face hurts and pains, to have the difficult conversations, right? To sometimes look in the mirror and work on shifting the narrative, about what we see, right? And how we love ourselves through all of the stuff, right? I know that it doesn't come easy. And I want to invite you to see that it is the most incredible, worthwhile journey to go on, right? And no one else can do that work for you. And oftentimes the conversation comes up about, it's too painful. I don't want to look back, right? I don't want to deal with all those things. It's bad enough that I lived through it. And I want to remind you and invite you to see that avoiding it doesn't make it go away, right? So it's this conversation about time does not heal all wounds. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away, right? So there's an invitation to get purposeful and step in, to your life in a courageous way, that really allows for you to do thorough inventory, to really give attention to the parts of you that want and need attention, right? And recognize that what's on the other side of it, it's not merely about a healing conversation. It's about your dreams coming true, right? It's about your life totally changing. It's about your salary increasing. It's about your connections, improving. It's about intimacy being created, right? It's about your creativity being enhanced. All of those results are possible when you choose to heal, right? Because it's healing the parts of ourselves that often impact those other areas, right? What is it that has us stuck in a particular salary bracket, or unwilling to ask for the raise, or unwilling to go for the new job, opportunity, right? Or what is it that has us withholding our art from the world, worried about what other people are going to think, perhaps thinking there's a million painters. Why would I put my paintings out there? Why me? Right? So healing work allows for the answer to be, why not you? And the work doesn't get done unless you do the work, right? So as we close season 2 of the V Spot, I want to encourage you to do your work and let you know that I am fully invested in doing mine, because I recognize that doing my work is the essential piece to the puzzle, not only for me to create the results that I want to have for myself, but it's also essential so that I'm able to hold the specific space I want to hold for you, so that you too can go after your dreams, be in pursuit of magic and experience yourself totally differently. So that's one piece I wanted to remind you, that there's nothing wrong, there's everything right. No one else has to understand your journey. No one else needs to, co-sign with your feelings and your thoughts, realizations, breakthroughs, epiphanies, discoveries, all of it, right? It's your journey. And the invitation is to tune into it, right? Go on the journey on purpose. Go on the journey, eyes wide open, knowing that, yes, it will be work, and the work will be completely worth it. Right. So as I prepare for season 3 and think about, well, what does upping the ante with vulnerability look like yet again? I'm not entirely sure, but I can tell you that my commitment is to, really listen to the feedback, listen to my intuition, and create, a season that will be juicy and valuable and exciting. And I don't know what that will mean in terms of cameras, no cameras, solo episodes, guests. I'm not really sure yet, but I do know that my commitment remains to be the same. I want the V Spot to be a place where we come together to speak our truth, right? Pave the way for other people to speak their truth, and allow for this accessing of empathy in a very intentional way. Right. So I'm excited to take some time and sort of connect and re-up on, bringing vulnerability, to you. I'm excited to, continue on my journey so that vulnerability is demonstrated, right? And we're able to share in the superpower together. And most importantly, what I'm excited about is to leave you with these 2 words that I hope serve as a reminder for when you forget, a compass for when you're not sure where you're going, right? And an affirmation for when times get tough, right? 2 words. And I'll say them after I tell you this, something else that was said. I believe that everywhere you are looking to go, vulnerability will support you in getting there. And the 2 words that I want to leave you with and call you forward to: heal bravely. So I will see you in a few weeks. I'm looking forward to spending quality time with you here in the V Spot. I'm excited for where it's going to go, right? Like I say in the beginning of season 1, first episode, buckle up, right? And if you're an adventure seeker, don't. But let's continue to lean into vulnerability together. It's always better together. give me your feedback. I want to hear from you. If you haven't already, share a review on Apple. If, on Spotify, there's an opportunity to share your thoughts. Let me know what you enjoyed. Is there a particular topic you want to hear about? Your feedback is super important to me and I welcome it. So I'm looking forward and staying tuned to your feelings about the V Spot, and it will guide me in how to move forward. So don't be shy. Send me the DMs, send me the emails, leave a review, tell a friend to tell a friend to meet us for season 3 in the V Spot. To be continued, everybody.